I've seen good teachers get misspeak badly as well, and so I have to. That's the only reason I gave it a double take, because if I saw this video first take, yeah, I would have been in your stances. I would be fine with that title as well. And I know you're not making that claim, but it looks like that to me when I first see it.
Well, I listen, all I'm talking about, the only thing I've ever mentioned this entire thing, I don't know why you're saying you don't care about the back and forth, the whatever, when you're the one that first brought up my debate with Logan, and you literally immediately followed up within the debate that I was having with Logan. You responded to that thing. You didn't make your own reply, but that's even still, if you don't care about it, anything that I ever, if you don't care about it, anything that I ever brought up with this was specifically with regards to her violence towards this child as a freaking adult, as if she had better options. That's the only point that I've ever made. You don't disagree with that at all?
No. Okay. And I even tweeted that. I was like, hey, if your point is, yeah, we should be careful about how we treat children, maybe it's a little bit more general on how you wanted it. Yeah, that's not the biggest, spiciest take there. Okay. I was just like, sure.
Well, Fanatiq. Yeah, but then when you see all of the responses from people like that Logan guy, or you got
what was Logan arguing? Because I didn't even.
Well, I guess then that's where the problem is. We should probably do reading before we jump into conclusions to say that maybe that my take wasn't with the standard. Matter of fact, I know that's your failure, not mine. Matter of fact, look at this thing, right? Look. All of the comments that I was looking at in here, right, in the actual original thread, also were mostly on the side of the teacher, right? That's what was happening. Sure. So then if I'm seeing the comments from the thread that are saying that, people are coming at me in the very debate that you're arguing with me on, is people sitting there siding with the teacher saying, well, you know, if your kid is unruly and so on and so forth, then it seems like to me that it's probably not as simple a take as you thought, since a huge amount of people were obviously not seeing it from that perspective, right?
So yes, if what happened was that you were getting like attacked by people defending the teacher, and I came and I was reading through yours and Logan's conversation, and I stop at that point, and I'm just trying to clarify something just so we don't get into like a trap. I was doing it for you so you don't get in a trap.
You were trying to help me by talking about something that I didn't say, by not even reading the dang thread of anything else that I said.
You can.
What?
Logan can use this fact that you're just like, are you implying the teacher was racist, something, Fanatiq,
well,
etc.?
He could try to, except for the fact that I literally just said I'm not losing it on that teacher if that was my child. That's all I said. You don't put your hands on another person's child. I never mentioned racism. So Logan can't say it there, and if he would have on that very first thing.
Then why would you say she's implying that he's the father's beating the mother?
Because he literally said the words, your dad beat your mom. That's what she said. That's how the men in your family do?
Oh, play it again.
Read it one more time. 1 second.
Sit the fuck down. Who do you think you are?
Yo, if that was me, I swear to God.
In my classroom, stop instigating. Do you hear me? Over here, running around my classroom, cussing at a girl trying to fight her? That's what your family does?
So she said, over here, running around, cursing at a girl trying to fight her. That's what your family does? Your dad beats your mom? So it's not just a question, it's an accusation. It's an implication that this is what the type of behavior that happens. She never does go in anywhere, correct the narrative in any way, shape, or form. She doesn't say anything like that. So you can be charitable if you want to. That was an attack. That was an accusation. And her physically touching the kid in the first place was obviously inappropriate. Her yelling and putting her fingers an inch away from his face was obviously inappropriate, and that's what I was talking about. So at this point, it doesn't matter what race anything is. If she was black, if she was Asian, it wouldn't freaking matter. The fact of the matter is you don't touch another person's kid. That woman should lose her job for that, because she obviously doesn't have her cool. 1, it's intimidating. 2, it's an assault. 3, she's literally publicly shaming this kid in front of the rest of the class. She clearly lost control. So what are you talking about? Never did I mention race or anything like that. Everything I said was just sensible, right?
Yeah, you saw the same thing I saw. First one
but
through.
You felt the need to correct me for no reason.
Nope. I know I'm correcting you because if you were gonna make, because you're already implying that you're already heavily implying that you're accusing her of being racist when you're linking a video that says that racist Karen, and then you're saying that he's implying that the family beats like each other.
She literally said the words. Okay. First off, you're being a complete idiot. Number one, I'm not implying that she's racist. Literally, that's just the initial video that I saw, and that was the title in there. I think it should become crystal clear that I'm not talking about the race of the individual because number one, when I gave my own take, I didn't mention racism. And if you know me and my content, if I'm seeing suspected white supremacists doing racist stuff, I'm gonna be the first nigga to be like, "Yo, this is racist and this is problematic." So. The fact that I didn't mention race in any capacity is already the fact that it should imply to any sensible person. No. You can't tell me we already talked about it because you said your stupid thing, so now I'm addressing it. So the fact that I didn't mention race in any capacity in the initial post just means that I'm not implying that she's racist. Then, to add to that, if you look at all the follow-up conversations, and God knows how many people I responded to, never did I mention race in any capacity, so there is no implication that it had anything to do with race. And if there was, I could have easily cleared that up if somebody's not coming out there assuming and projecting their own failed retardation. You were the person that thought it was racist. You were the one that approached me with that. You said that, not me.
Who is gonna vouch for you on this one?
I don't need anybody to vouch for me.
Is gonna look at it as being racist. And also,
I don't need anybody to vouch for me. I know what I said. I'm a man with. I'm good with my words, and I use my words properly. And the words that I use eloquently stated exactly what my problem was. I don't need you to vouch for me, nigga. I vouch for myself. I speak for myself because I got that verbiage.
I asked who is gonna vouch for you on this idea. I don't think anyone can defend you on this.
Anyone that knows me that doesn't come from DGG is gonna vouch for me on that.
Get anyone in here. Get anyone in here. Get your friends in here.
There's somebody in the chat saying it right now. What is this true? What is this proof? It doesn't matter. I don't need anybody to vouch for me. I don't care. I don't care if anybody vouches for me. I know the words that came out of my mouth. If your reading comprehension is so piss poor that you have to insert meanings and project ideas that you failed at as well, that's a projection. You projected it. You said you read it and you saw racism and then immediately put that there.
You probably means she's racist.
I don't have to. It's not an implication. She literally said the words, moron. She didn't. I don't have to imply anything. The words came out of her mouth. She said, your dad beats your mom. She said that. She didn't imply it. She literally said it. So then don't say that I'm not inferring something. She literally directly said it.
Yeah, before you started this fucking hissy fit. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, exactly. So I didn't say anything like that. So what the frick do you want? I didn't say that. You assumed it improperly. You said it yourself in this call. You said that you got in there. That when you saw the video, you said, I got you. You said that when you saw the video for the very first time that you thought that it was something that had something to do with race. That's your failure. You projected that failure onto me.
No, because it seems like you were unaware that this video was titled Racist Karen. You had to scroll up, you had to look at it, and right. I'm like, okay, bro, you're literally posting a video on Racist Karen and then mocking her. Okay, yeah, I think that's a pretty fair implication. Even if that video wasn't, titled
you're saying the only way to,
I would think that was pretty implied racism on her part. Because that was, even if I didn't see that title, I would see that video and I'll be like, yeah, that Karen's fucking.
Well, that's because your brain sucks. But so you're saying that the only way that I could.
Are you saying that she's
I'm saying that your brain sucks.
You didn't get any of those kind of vibes. You didn't get any of those vibes.
No, I didn't. I thought that she was a feminist, probably. I thought that maybe she was an idiot. I thought maybe she was she had lost her cool. I thought maybe any of those things. Do I think that she's immediately a racist? No, I don't have any reason to think she's a racist. All I know is that she was protecting a freaking little girl, that she assumed that this dude was trying to fight, and that she was going too far. That's what I saw. And the only thing that I addressed, as you can see in all of the comments, was literally just the idea that she was being violent with a child. We can go through them if you need to. Here, look at my initial statement is, okay, sure, I'm dishonest for the words that came out of my mouth. Look, as I said, You don't put your hands on another person's child. That's what I said. Never mentioned anything about race.
Faith on that one. I was like,
let me see.
Good faith. I was like, okay, maybe.
Then someone else said, if my kid was acting like that, I would want to know about it. But also happy the teacher publicly shamed him, should not have cussed and grabbed his chair. I said, you think public shame is effective punishment for children? You're a bad parent. Again, we're talking about the punishment and what she did, right? And he said, you have never been a teacher, clearly. Didn't respond to that. Stupid point. Then who was the other person that came at me for it? Never ever did I mention anything about race whatsoever. Logan. LOL, teachers can't do anything then. Just let your kid go crazy and not teach any of the other student. She sat him down and scolded him. If you freaked out because I did this to your kid, I just look at you as the reason they are acting out too. I said, okay, you can suspend him, send him to the principal's office, or get beat on when I find out you touched my kid and screamed in his face. Once again, I'm highlighting exactly what my point is. Physical assault on a freaking child by some overweight mammoth of a teacher. Then the next thing, LMAO, bro, if it was your kid was trying to fight another student, shouldn't their parent come in and beat your A while you're attempting to beat mine? Or should you as a grown A man teach your kid to have some effing respect for his classmates in school? Just curious. Oh no, they stopped my child from potentially hurting another student by sitting them in a chair and scolding him. Now I'm going to go fight the teacher and anybody else just to prove I'm definitely part of the reason he's acting out in school. I responded to that and said, LOL, if the only way you can stop my child is by physically assaulting him and screaming in his face and accusing me of beating his mom, yeah, I'm gonna put hands on you and press charges. Then Logan said some more nonsensical points. I said, you're insane. You think it's okay for teachers to beat kids. Well, glad the law's on my side. Again, my entire focus this entire time has been on the physical assault of this teacher. So you can say, you know what, I think you implied or you assumed there was race in there, despite the fact that I have probably 8 posts all talking about the physical assault as the only thing that I'm focused on. Idiot. You can't read. Your problem, not mine. You failed and assumed that there was racism in there. Never did I.
All right. So I get to respond.
Say what the freak you want, idiot.
Fanatiq. Even if you didn't say it, I'll find it hard to believe. Imagine hard to believe that anyone that watched that video could say, that Karen is that woman is kind of racist. Okay.
Okay.
Now, yeah.
So what's the problem with that then? Why were you attacking me on something? Well, no, that I didn't say. If you don't think that is a problem,
I was attacking you on the point with like the child. Like it's like you like implying that the family are beating each other.
She said the words.
She said the words, but that seems like a rhetorical. That could be taken as a rhetorical question. That's also pretty good faith on my part on when I'm hearing that, but I've seen that shit happen too. Okay, now if I'm giving you good faith that you weren't talking about you didn't think she was racist. Okay, I think it's fair for me to claim I was trying to be good faith to that accusation.
So what accusation? I didn't even make the accusation that you're saying you're being good faith to. You projected that onto me.
No, whatever. The accusation.
What do you mean, whatever?
You know.
Did you project it or not?
You know you get racist.
Did you project it? Did you project it or not?
Project what?
That I thought that there was racism involved.
Oh yeah.
Right, and I didn't.
No, that's my good hunch, and I'm 100% sure it's true. Okay,
sure. You can think what you want. You know my mind better than me. I don't know, nigga. She's literally a white teacher in a clearly black neighborhood teaching a bunch of black kids. Why do I have to immediately assume that she's racist? What?
Bro, everyone's a little racist, okay? Now, come on, bro. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, your brain doesn't work. Okay, so I got it. So you think everything is racist and you project that onto me because I don't think that way. I don't think everything is racist. I need to see evidence of racism.
I don't think everything's racist, but racist has a little bit of... racism plays a part in like a lot of what fucking happens to all of us. Okay, now you even talk about these kind of things. It was like even like there's even self-hatred, like racist against like yourself. Like it's a very real thing. But
that doesn't mean that everyone is racist, and that doesn't mean that every action is based on racism. Because there can be other things that can cause things. There's still classism. There's still feminism. There's still misogyny. That aren't not every problem is race-based. Number one, and number two, if there's a race-based problem, let's look through my freaking Twitter. How many times am I going to mention it? Matter of fact, we can just do a dang advanced search.
Wait,
let's go. Hold on. Race.
No. Hold on. Let me respond. So what's the problem when you're linking a video like racist Karen? What's the problem with me saying like I know? I'm not even directing it exactly at you. I know we like to see racism a little bit too much. But I think when she was saying that fucking part, we could put it in good faith and she could mean something else. Like, I don't see the problem with that, Fanatiq. It wasn't even saying, like, Fanatiq, you jumped the gun on her, calling her a racist or anything like that. It's literally, like, a response to that video.
So here's the deal. If I just share a video, I'm sharing a tweet that somebody else did and highlighting the part that I think is pertinent. And that's what I did. If you think that immediately means that I 100% co-sign every factor of that thing, despite all of the posts that I made afterwards and the header and the thing that I focused on in the original post, that's your failure comprehension. That has nothing to do with me.
Comprehension. I'm pretty sure everyone saw that title, or most people saw that title. All right, and that's and I don't. And the failure was on you. You didn't even know what the title was.
I don't have to know the title because I mentioned the part that was funny to me. So let's see. Let me look. So here's a video we talking about racism. Why does no one ever talk about the fact that the investigation led to the confession of cause people? Blah, 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 blah. Yep, y'all still back Andre content, just racist. If I see a problem that's racist, I call it that. People deny this is racist. Look at the whole thread across several states, over 5,000 victims, but nothing. Look at this dude, so caught up in his racism that he says apples and oranges while simultaneously saying, okay, 10 years ago, today, a racist shot and killed Trayvon Martin. Picture summed up pretty largely. A large portion of Hispanic Latinos identify as white. The dream of coalition or God. The anti-black racism in the Latin community is rampant. Anytime I'm calling out race or racism, I do it. My nigga, I can scroll for days. If something is racist, I'm gonna call it racist. But here you are.
I did read every single one of your posts.
Right.
My bad, my
so
guy.
no. You said you're familiar with my content. So if you're familiar with my content, then you know that if I think something is racist, I'm gonna call it out. Yet in this situation, I didn't mention race whatsoever. So does that sound like that I'm not lying to you as you keep on implying when I say that I didn't think race was a problem in this scenario? Yes or no? Admit you were wrong and that it should have been obvious given the fact that I'm so quick to mention race if there was a racial problem. The fact that I didn't say race at all should have been a clear indication for anybody familiar with my content that I didn't think race was a primary factor or really a factor at all in this problem, right?
No.
So you're just going to be dishonest.
No.
There's nothing else to talk about. Say your last words.
You can talk about a racist instance and then talk about the fucking finer details of it. Okay, when you're having a you're having a conversation with Logan about like physical violence on teachers, and then it kind of diverges there. You don't have to talk about the racism in the situation to talk about the violence violence on kids. Okay, they're two different subjects. I was just following one conversation thread in that kind of deal, but
that I didn't take part in any capacity.
You were responding to Logan, whatever.
But nothing. Logan and I weren't talking about racism.
Okay, no, okay, maybe I was okay. So when you were saying like I was projecting, yeah, I was probably projecting because when I watched that video and I saw a little bit of racism. Yes, I never said otherwise.
Okay, you did multiple times. I'm glad you're admitting it now.
I find it hard to believe you didn't see a little bit of that either.
Okay.
Now you made the claim. Like I didn't call it out because I didn't think there's enough evidence for that. It's like okay, good. Then yeah, we didn't have anything, but I was still responding to the video title itself.
Okay, so I guess you responded to a thread. You responded to a thread
and
in
you
which I
came
was
at
having
me
a
with
conversation.
Vitriol
Because you're an idiot. You respond to a thread and then don't indicate the fact that what you're saying is completely extraneous to the thread that you're responding to. That's why. That's why. If I'm sitting here having a conversation with somebody, and we're talking back and forth about freaking presidential elections, and then you just get in there and start talking about girders, I'm not going to know that unless you indicate it, you actual idiot. Yeah, I got you. I don't care that you don't like me insulting your intelligence. I don't need your permission. You did it yourself.
I don't care.
You insulted your intelligence by talking to a real nigga like me and saying all this nonsense. You idiot. You came into a thread. I don't care, but I can make my arguments with purchase because you went into my thread talking to me and a comment that I'm having while saying something completely extraneous and projecting onto me and then denying it multiple times in the conversation until I gotta debate you into it. You're an idiot. You denied that you projected originally, you moron.
No, I didn't. Wait, hold up. Hold
Okay,
up.
listen, I'm going to end the conversation here. You can rewatch it in the VOD. You did deny it, you absolute idiot.
You were
Multiple
denying
times.
that you thought she was racist. What the fuck?
And you think that's
Oh,
a win.
wait, you're still denying
Great brains,
that.
bro. You got anything else? What else is there?
Oh my god. Nothing. I mean, you could actually debate the point I was trying to make, but it was just like, oh well.
What point were you trying to make? That you thought I thought she was racist.
Yeah, you don't need to be careful. You need to be careful when you said that she's implying that the family beats each other.
Yeah,
and then you said
that's because of your poor comprehension. I'm sorry. If you think that she implied it when she directly said it, when you think it's an you think it's an you think it's an implication for someone to directly say, so your dad beats your mom? That's an implication. You idiot! She said the words verbatim. Your dad the men in your family beat women. Your dad beats your mom. That's an implication. You don't know what the word imply means. You're an idiot. What a freaking moron. Let's watch this one more time. What an absolute idiot. What an absolute idiot. Oh Lord, hold on. Let's just do this right now. Here, let me play the video for you guys so you can see what this idiot was talking about. What an absolute moron.
Fuck down. Fuck down.
Do you see this? Do you see this? That is assault. It's crazy to me, the differences in the world that we live in. I'm telling you. He gotta go. Honey, you tell me right now that you're not putting hands on that teacher. Real talk. You're not putting hands on that teacher? She gotta be fired immediately. That's what I really want. First off, she has to be fired immediately. And if she's fired immediately and can't be a teacher anymore, and I'm going to be pressing charges against her for assault, if that happens, I don't need to put hands on her. I can just go through the law. But you gotta understand, if the law doesn't come see it my way, I have to take matters into my own hand. I got to put hands on her. That's just gonna happen. I'm telling you right now, that's how that's me. I'm going through the legal route first. Give me that woman's job. I'm suing the school for physically assaulting my child and the trauma that he's going through. And I'm gonna need her to be, I'm gonna have to press charges against her, and I need her to be charged. If that doesn't go through, I got to put my hands on you. I have to. Yeah, man. Nigga. Andy, that was my mother's generation. And then hearing my mother explain the story to me about a time where she was in line and they told them to be quiet as they walked. And she had said to a person, like, something happened. And her, out of concern, was like, hey, watch out. And because she said watch out, trying to protect someone, the teacher was like, oh, that's a SWAT. And then she got paddled when she got back to class. If I found out that happened to my daughter, I would go and put hands on that teacher. There's no way in hell. There's no way I'm not going there and punching him square in the mouth. Point blank, period. I wouldn't hesitate. Now, woman teacher, I'm going to have to go through the legal system. All right, go on, you know what I'm saying? Woman teacher, we're going to try to go through the legal route. And if the legal route don't fix this problem, then yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put some hands on you. You don't put your hands on a child. That's all I've been saying, honey. I don't know how anyone doesn't see this. I don't know how that's not like crystal clear to everyone. Daddy loves her. He's going to have to go away for a little. My nigga, that's so crazy. Nigga, look at this. shoving him into a chair?
Down. Who you think you
And then
are?
push your hand
If
right
that was me, I swear to
What
God.
is my classroom? And you think stop instigating. Do you hear me? Over here.
And she tried to shove him into this desk. This is what she tried to do. She just wasn't strong enough. Oh, fat whale.
Running around my classroom, cussing at a
He might have actually braced himself. Nigga, I got to lose it. It just, this makes me angry on a whole nother level. On a whole nother
girl
level.
trying to fight her. That's what your family does. The minute your family put their hands on women, your dad beats your mom.
Oh.
He started.
That's how your family does? The minute your family beat on women, your dad beats your mom? That's an accusation. That's not a question. It's not a it was obviously rhetorical, which is why that nigga didn't even respond to that portion of it. You gonna put hands and go to the league? I get it. I'm not even mad. I totally get that mentality. Is it the right way to handle it? Probably not the best, because then obviously you're not gonna be there for your kid during those moments. But nigga, I get it. That's nigga, clearly. Oh, Datus, you don't know what rhetorical means. If it's a rhetorical question, then it's not a genuine question. It's meant to be a statement. Rhetorical questions are statements. You see that, you idiot? Rhetorical questions are statements. Like if someone asks, "Hey, can I use the restroom first?" And it's like, "Dang, bro, what? Like, didn't you know I've been waiting?" That doesn't mean, "Hey, answer the question, moron." What that means is, I'm telling you, I've been waiting, so I need to use the restroom. Statements of obviously not. That's what all rhetorical statements mean. So then if someone says, "Yo, my favorite movie of all time is at the movies right now," or it's my second favorite movie of all time is at the movies right now, you think I'm gonna miss that? That means obviously not. Idiot. You're a moron. Leave the talking to the adults. Yeah, nah, honey, listen, the same way you feel is exactly what I was saying in the posts. Like, there's no way I don't react violently. That's crazy as freak. Datus, do you have kids? I wish you guys could have heard the very beginning of the conversation. It would have probably started out chill, but then he was like interrupting and acting stupid. So it's like, oh yeah, no, you gonna catch this smoke. A moron. Nigga, she has to find out. She has to. No, don't rejoin. What is there to talk about? Bro, you've already shown that you're an idiot. If I tell... Yeah, no, don't talk to me. No, don't come back in here. I don't want you to come back in here. I don't want to talk to you. I don't. Nigga, you literally were interrupting me OD from the very, very beginning. They couldn't hear me in the beginning because my thing was muted. You tried to talk over me the whole time. Thank you. Love the heavy metal scream right after the sit the F down, but yeah, this is a failure to regulate behavior. Self and class. Which, to be fair, is a terrible job with kids, but still, teachers have to do way better. You're upset at this kid for not managing himself at 11 years old, and you're a freaking grown mammoth of a woman that doesn't know how to manage herself? I wish I knew that teacher's name. I want her fired. She gotta go. Get out. You embarrassed the freak out that kid. Insane. How does your brain even get there? Yeah, I don't want to talk to Datus again because he doesn't know how to actually engage. When someone asks you a direct question and you can't answer the question, then that means that you're not fit for conversations. Don't talk to me. Yeah, you're an idiot. You think that was your argument. Bro, what the freak? You're really, really dumb. Yep. Yep. As I just explained to you, idiot. Once again, your comprehension is complete poop. They can't tell in the very beginning of the conversation because in the very beginning of the conversation, my mic was muted. Do you understand? I'm going to say it one more time. They can't tell from the beginning of the conversation because in the beginning of the conversation, my mic was muted. They could only hear you. You got it? He doesn't understand because his comprehension is dick. His comprehension is complete dick. Oh yeah, let me show you guys. Let me show you guys what this idiot was saying. Freaking moron. I responded and said, LOL, if the only way you can stop my child is physically assaulting him and screaming in his face and accusing me of beating his mom, yeah, I'm gonna put hands on you and press charges. Honeypot, I'm telling you, I had the same energy. Like I you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to think with the better brain. I probably want to go the legal route first. And then if they won't, then yeah, I gotta beat on you. Yeah, because I'm just not. Then he said, I know white fat women screams racist, but I'm pretty sure she was saying that if your dad doesn't hit your mom, then grow up and act like him. She just said it very poorly and lost her temper, clearly. And so I responded, oh ye of little intelligence, why trouble me with this straw man? Does anybody know what that comes from? Can anyone understand like the origins of this statement? A rhetorical question can be an accusation, and that felt like an accusation. ATF, thank you. Rhetorical of a question. Asked in order to produce an effect or to make a statement rather than to elicit information. There's no way he understands that he sounds stupid. His brain doesn't work. It doesn't work. I hate this nigga. Get out, bro. You gotta go. You gotta go. His response. So if your point was we should care about how we treat kids, congrats, my dude. Yep, you're right. Another fat Fanatiq win. That wasn't my point. It's not just we should care about how we treat kids, you idiot. It's that you have no business touching a freaking child, and that would make me violent against you. I responded to that and said, so you can't read. Why even at me? Because clearly that wasn't my point. To which he responded, why can't you even engage when you were just dodging? I didn't strawman you. You did when you implied about the racist statement, which I never said. You misinterpreted something, obviously. Looks like you realized it before my tweet. You can move the goalpost wherever you want. I could care less. You idiot. It's not I could care less. I can't care less. If you could care less, that means you care. If you can't care less, that means that you can't care any less because you already don't care at all. You see? Like you can't get less than zero. So if you have zero care, you can't care less. If you can care less, that means you have at least one care because you can care less. You get how that works? Idiot. Your brain sucks. Your comprehension sucks. You're an idiot. Yeah, I went there inside. I did. I said it. Can you tell me, can you get less than zero? Specifically, what? Our data's come back. That's all I'm trying. Nigga, I've never deleted a VOD ever. I don't do that. I'm not going to hide up. I can say never, but I don't remember any time that I've ever done that. And definitely not to be hiding. Well, never mind. I'm going to go ahead and fix it. We're going to be chill, Datus. Okay? You're going to use your brain. You're going to engage with me. You're not going to interrupt me, and I'm not going to interrupt you. You're not going to grandstand. You're not going to talk 10 minutes, and we're going to have a conversation, and you're not going to be a moron. Okay? I believe you can be intelligent. When people are aggressive, it makes people not intelligent. So I'm going to try to put on kid gloves. It's a new thing that I've been trying to learn how to do. Okay? So I'm going to try my best to put on kid gloves. I need you to be as decent as possible so that I don't end up losing it, okay? Because I'm going to do my best right now. Okay? Here we go. Hey, what's up, man?
What's up? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. And you?
I'm pretty good. I like you, Fanatic, okay? You know what? I disagree with a lot of people, but I don't really care if I disagree with someone. I just care if someone's principled. And from what I know, from what I've seen of you, at least you give a fuck, all right? And stick to your guns and principle. So, okay. You'll always be cool with me, even if we hate each other after this, all right?
Sure. I won't hate you. I just have lost a lot of respect, but it can be redeemed in a conversation.
I don't think you even remembered who I was, okay? But
I didn't.
Whatever respect that was, but yeah. We had a decent conversation before. You said, hey, you can come down and chat anytime. And I was like, oh, cool. But then I got busy. You know
was the conversation about trans stuff?
No, it wasn't about trans stuff. We were just talking about religion. I was just curious on how you were able to separate religion from your politics.
I see.
And reasoning.
Okay.
Yeah, I was high as fuck, so I talked a little bit different. It was when you were interviewing, but you were interviewing Zonia during that day as well, and then I just got caught in, and then your buddy there with the Proud Boy guy was there too. So yeah, I don't know if you recall.
Okay, I don't remember you specifically, but it sounds vaguely familiar enough. So look, here's the deal. I think it's fair to say that I don't necessarily endorse the entire title, right? And
Did I? No, yeah.
And I feel.
But I was saying that
Can I finish?
Yeah. Sure.
Thanks. And I feel like the part that stood out to me, right? Because they said this white feminist. I don't know if she's a feminist or not. I don't know for sure. Okay. Like I could assume, because it seemed like she might have had some sort of feminist energy, but who knows? You don't really know that, right? She said, need to be out of the classroom. We do not need this racist Karen. And I don't know that she's racist. I have no idea. In the classroom, abusing black children. She is a bully. Now, what I saw was the abusing of the child and that she was a bully. You have a limited Twitter, whatever. So I wasn't trying to say that she was racist. I was saying that this was just abusive of this whale's power over this young boy. That's all I talked about. Like I said it, I really summed it up really simply when I said you don't put your hands on another person's child.
Okay,
isn't that fair?
I think that's fair. When you explained it and clarified it, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Can you understand where I was coming from? Where I'm just I see a video, I think she's racist. The video you're posting is, oh no, I didn't. I said when I watched the video, I was like, that could be racist. When you're posting a video that's titled "Racist Karen," I'm thinking, hey, Fanatiq probably thinks she's racist, might be racist as well, right? And then I'm just responding with, I know we like to maybe jump into the conclusions here, but that wasn't even implied. That wasn't even directed at you. That was just directed to everyone in the conversation. That just the video in general. Okay.
But do you feel? Okay, go ahead.
But the key difference, the key thing we have a disagreement about was my response. My comment was about her rhetorical question of like, does your family beat each other? Does your dad beat your mom? And we agreed it was a rhetorical question.
But you're making too many points. Because I want to address the first thing that you said.
Sure, go.
So the first thing that you said is it wasn't directed at me. But you literally said, I know fat white women screams racist, Fanatic. Yep. So then you were directing that statement at me.
Yeah, okay, probably. Yep. I can see it. I can see it that way. I implied it was just inference that that you thought she was racist. I'm sorry. I thought she was racist, and I had to double check on that video. Okay.
Thank you, and I appreciate that. But then that also means, though, like when I originally said you projected that thing onto me, then you did, because I swear, like that wasn't any. Like, do you?
I never disagreed with that.
Well, you did though, multiple times. With the VOD will be there. I promise you, multiple times you said to me, hey,
hmm
no, I wasn't projecting it. Like, in fact, you denied, you said no one would believe me when I said that I wasn't considering race as a factor. You said that. So
Yeah.
hold on, not only did you not say, hey, I'm not projecting it onto you, you then went on to say that I was lying to you when I said that race wasn't one of the factors that I was considering. So you did project it, and you denied that you projected originally.
Well, okay. So the thing is, we were discussing like if race like if it's like you never said racism, and then that you were just that I was just projecting it onto you, and I said I'm not just projecting on it. The video title is literally titled "Racist Karen,"
Do
and then
we?
you didn't know that. You scrolled up, and you're like, oh. And then I'm like, but I understand with that like realization. I understand your point. It made your point. I understand that you were definitely not trying to do that because you didn't know the title. I was
Right.
just we wanted to move on from there.
But hold on, I really don't like doing this very frequent because it really frustrates me when I have to. But if need be, because I just really want this point to be really established. When I
hmm
originally accused you of projecting onto me, you said you did not multiple times. We can go through the VOD right now and I can
I
find
said
it
maybe I said I did not. Maybe it was a small mistake. I do that,
multiple
but it's
times.
like no. But I was making a point. I don't think it's just me projecting and you're not thinking anything along those lines because we were
That's
talking about the implications of the rhetorical question itself. The
no,
response to your tweet where she's saying
no.
that she's like implying that the father beats the mom. I'm like, okay,
Datus,
where does that come from?
Datus,
Why do you
these
think she's saying that?
Datus, these are two different points.
No, those
No,
were
no, let me finish, please. Let me finish,
okay.
please. I'm
Go.
not interrupting you. I need you to chill,
All
right?
right, go. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
So the point of was it a rhetorical question is completely distinct from the point of do I think that she was being racist? Those two
mhm.
things do not have to intersect. And right now, all I'm talking about was about whether or not I thought race was a factor here. And I never said that there was race, that the race was a factor here. And
Mhm.
for you to make the statement that I'm not just projecting it onto you, pretty much anybody would think that. That means you're projecting that thought onto
Well,
most people because I didn't think that way. That's not what I was focused on. If race was an issue, there's literally 0% chance that I'm not going to mention that. One of my largest
hold
things that
on.
I talk about is racism.
I know
So
a
then why would I not mention it?
fanatic. You're like honing in on the misunderstanding of the video title. That cleared up, but there was two things on why I was pretty much on board thinking that you were thinking she was racist. Okay, it
Okay.
wasn't not just the posting of the video title. It was her what your response or what your assumption based on her rhetorical question. Okay, where you're
Okay.
saying the rhetorical question is obviously implying that the kid's dad is beating the mom,
Hmm.
and I was saying maybe the rhetorical question is that your parents wouldn't do this. Basically, obviously your family's not doing this, so why are you doing this?
But what is
That was our difference.
but
If you,
is race an essential component within that question?
I think that's dog whistly as fuck. Yes. And you posted the video with the racist Karen. Like, did you had? I'm not saying that
So now you're cycling
you did that on
back.
purpose. I'm not saying you did that on purpose. We're just establishing. Yeah, I thought you were doing that.
So then
That
again,
seems like clear enough.
right.
Clear enough as it is.
So then that's all a projection yet again.
That's not a project. You still haven't. Why do you think the rhetorical question is implying that the father is beating the mother?
The reason why, first off, I want you to understand, I'm telling you factually that I
Uh huh.
did not think that she was saying your dad beats your mom because of the fact that he was black. She was saying that because she
Sure.
saw him trying to be violent to a girl. That's what she was saying. I think she would have said the same thing to a white person. Race is not an essential component there. So since race isn't an essential component there, then in
Mhm.
this situation, once you say that you must think that that was partially racist as well, that it's a
Mhm.
dog whistle, that is yet another projection because I didn't think that way. You thought that way and assumed that I thought that way. That's what a
Okay.
projection is,
So
right?
wait. Wait, so you're saying since she's a feminist, she's assuming that the kid's
Not
father beats the mother?
No, not necessarily a feminist. It doesn't have to be. She could be a completely like an actual human being, not a
Okay.
feminist. She could be an egalitarian. But
Mm-hmm.
she obviously was drawing the inference that, hey, since you're acting this way, you must have gotten it from home. Thank you for catching that ATF. So
No,
then,
and I think this is common colloquial when you're saying like, do your parents do that, et cetera, et cetera. That like it's implying that no, you should be better. No, so why shouldn't you? I feel like that's common enough. So I wouldn't say I don't know in what world where someone says does it like a kid does something. It's like your parents do that. And, like they're actually implying that your parents actually fucking do it. But you know what? This one video could be the case, Fanatic. So you
okay.
know what?
But once again, let's just make sure that this is crystal clear. Again, my
Mhm.
thought process, race is not a component of it at all. But you thought that my thought process was based off of race. So is that a projection? Yes or no?
I said it's like okay, if I would even grant you that, I'm gonna
If
hold my cards on that one. If I was to grant you that, why do you think it's like the worst that rhetorical question is for the worst you take it it's the worst possible way?
wait,
I don't understand the
wait,
explanation on that
you're
one.
saying if again and again. The if thing is where we're having a problem. I did not consider race there. I thought that she was basing it off of his actions and then projecting his actions onto his parents. So, do you
Yeah.
think if that's my thought process, then is it fair to come to that conclusion without race being a factor at all?
Yeah, that's fine,
So then,
right?
okay, wait, hold on. There's two parts to it then. So if that's true, yet
Mhm.
you assumed that race must have been a factor there, then that
Mhm.
is a projection on that specific portion. That idea that I must have been basing that on some sort of racist dog whistle is a
Mhm.
projection because I was not
Yeah.
considering race, right?
Yeah, you can say I inferenced wrong on that one, but I think if you gave anyone, if you could put anyone in any position where they have a a black advocate streamer, black rights advocate streamer, whatever you want to call yourself, post a video of racist Karen, white lady, fat whale, white lady, sitting this kid down and obviously being fucking crazy about it. Yeah, I would assume that that person thinks the teacher is racist.
I get
And
that.
I had
Okay.
even more. Okay, so we had came to understanding on that one. I'm not gonna withhold that. I feel like that's a pretty fine.
Well, let me respond to that first then.
Uh,
If
yeah.
that's one of your if that's one of your points, then do you think that it's fair that given the fact that I obviously would mention race if I thought it was racism, and
Hmm.
the fact that in all of the subsequent posts, both my header and every response was only related to the violence that was happening there, do you think that it might be fair for people? I'm not saying it in a mean way.
Well,
Do you think that it would be fair for people to say, I don't know if he thinks it's a racist issue. It seems like he has an issue get with the parent with the
yeah,
woman, the whale putting her hands on the child. Do
yeah,
you
I
think
think
that
that's
that's fair?
fair.
Okay, but you
Yes.
didn't do that. So that's part of
Yeah, and you
that's
fucked
another
up as well, my guy.
projection. What?
You fucked up. You didn't even read the title of the video you were posting.
No, so yes, sure, you can say that I messed up, but what I did was that was the video. The only other way that I could have done this would have been able to download the video and then upload the video myself. But all I did was quote tweet the video as it happened and put my title of the part that was significant to me. That's not a failure. That's not an endorsement of every statement made. I don't know if she's a feminist, but you're not talking about the feminist part, right? I don't know like anything. I don't know if I don't know the surrounding circumstances. All I
Hmm.
know is that these actions were violent. That's all I addressed because that's what I was interested in.
Okay. I
So
guess
that's
then
not
the
a
real
failure, right?
I think it is, but no, well, so you're saying like you had no possible way of seeing the title. I believe you.
No,
That
I'm
you
not saying
didn't
that I
see the
didn't see the
title.
title. That's not what I said. I didn't say that I didn't see the title. What I said was I retweeted the video, which was the
Mhm.
only convenient way of sharing the video, aside from downloading the video to my computer and then re-uploading and making an original tweet, which you know I wasn't going to do. I wouldn't have to go to a third-party Twitter, third-party site, download the
Mhm.
video from there, and then create a new tweet, right? And I wasn't
Okay.
going to do that. The easiest, most convenient way is just to retweet the video. So I retweeted the video and then posted what I thought was important about the video in the header. So I think that's not me failing. Rather, and I probably might have read the freaking title, but wasn't concerned about the title of the video. I was concerned about the video itself. And so I posted what was important to me. Does that sound right?
It's a whatever we post on Twitter, Fanatic. It's like if we if there was an oversight with the post, if like the thing we posted was misinformation or whatnot, and we didn't do some due diligence along the way and thinking about the reactions we're gonna get, or like when you're posting this message, like how people are gonna react to it, um, yeah, I would say that you have a responsibility there, and it would be if you misgauged um that reaction, then yeah, that's a failure on your part.
You're right. However, literally, not a single other person in any of the responses addressed the race element besides you. So I did gauge appropriately what people would understand I meant from it. You were the only one that made a mistake there, right?
Um,
Let's
I
look at
guess
the
that would be a good
comments.
that would be a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, like we can look at it. No one else was talking about race because that wasn't what I was talking about. And I think
Yeah.
everyone, literally
All right.
every single person got that besides you.
Okay. I mean, if everyone doesn't believe she's racist, wow, good. Wow, they're really great people. They're better than me.
Okay, so as long as you can admit that wasn't a me thing, I didn't fail there. I did the appropriate thing by putting the header that addressed the things that I thought were important, and everyone else appropriately responded to the portion of the thing that I was talking about. You
Mhm.
assumed the racism, and you projected that other people would take the race element as the primary element in the
Well,
video yet
no, I
again.
assume no. Even though people are not talking about the race element, they're talking about the violence part, right? When what you're saying, what you're implying when you're taking the rhetorical question of whatever that she's implying that the dad is being the mom. Yeah, I'm gonna be like, I how do I explain this? Maybe I think everyone in this like Twitter log is aware that this person could be racist.
Anything
And
is
when you
possible, sure.
yes. So we're all under that assumption. You bring in
Wait. Assumption. Oh, I'm sorry. Just the assumption that she could be, or the assumption that she is.
the assumption should good be based on the context of the Twitter you posted.
Okay.
Okay. So when you bring up a point that she's clearly implying that the dad beats the mom, I don't know how you can accuse me of any kind of failure for like saying that okay, maybe she's not racist.
Well, I thought we already went over the fact that in order to assume that she was projecting his behavior onto his parents, race isn't an essential or even
No, but I never
necessary
agreed with that
component.
point. I
You
I
did
understand that's what
earlier.
you're saying.
You did agree with it earlier. I'm sorry. Then let's walk this back
Hey,
one more
what
time.
did you?
I'm sorry. Then maybe I missed. I might have put the cart before the horse here. I thought we came to that conclusion. I could have failed. Is it possible for her to have said the exact same thing to a white person?
It's possible. We are in agreement, but we're in disagreement about that rhetorical question. Your argument is that she's saying it's a rhetorical obvious question because if she sees the kid attacking the girl, right, or being mean to the girl, she's like already implying that this must be because your parents are doing it as well,
Right. Is race a
right?
necessary component of that sort of thought process?
No, but I'm pretty sure that would be implied by anyone who actually hears that.
So again, that's a projection.
and sees this
Because,
video.
well, no, again, that's a projection because I heard it and I didn't think race.
No, but we just
You
agreed that
did.
everyone could no, we just agreed that everyone could, like, this is being possible racism is implied.
No, 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 no. It's not
Does
that there
every
could
reader
be.
care?
No, 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 no. It's literally any person in any circumstance could be racist. That's so all that I felt like that was like I thought that was a very vacuous statement because anyone in any interaction for any reason could be racist. But I'm saying that I don't
So,
have
if
any
we're
evidence.
doing
But I'm saying I don't have any evidence that there's racism here. So any person who assumed she was racist would immediately be in error unless there are greater implications than just the fact that it's a white teacher and a black student, right?
wait, so if wait, what evidence would you need to have that to prove that she's racist?
I would need to see that maybe one, she had white students who were doing the same behavior and she didn't respond in that way, or two, she used another trope, like or she used a racist trope. But fortunately, to my knowledge, that's not like a common trope. It's not a common trope that black men beat their wives. Now, if she had made some statement about like abandoning or something, which we know can be a racist dog whistle, then that would have been there. Now, had she said to him, "Oh, what, your dad's not there, and so that's why you don't have respect, you don't know how to respect women," then I
Yeah.
would say that if she said that, that is a common racist trope. So then I would say this sounds racist. But simply talking about something that is not a common racist trope, I would see no need to inject racism in there. Black men don't beat their wives.
Right. Yeah, we're going in circles. Again, I'm just saying, but you agreed that in this video, this is probably going to set out more alarm bells about someone being racist or not than just like a general statement like anyone can be racist, right? You're
I
posting
don't
a
agree with
video
that.
with racist
No.
Karen. You never said otherwise. And you said that no one's really talking about it because you're not talking about it. But
Okay.
I asked you that isn't it kind of like fair to say that when you are posting a video as a black advocate that's and a popular star that's a video labeled racist white Karen, that the readers are going to be more inclined to think racism is
That's not the
involved
question
and
that
then
you
just an
asked.
everyday problem.
That is
Well,
not
I
the
had to
question that you
clarify because
asked.
you generalize it so much.
I'm sorry. Well, that wasn't the original question you asked. And if you would have asked that very specific question that you just did, then the answer would be no. I would think that any person assuming automatically that the teacher is racist without the presence of a racist trope in order to justify that belief would be in error because the only thing that they would be judging is an interaction between a white woman and a black child. That's not enough to assume a person is
Sure,
racist.
but we
So, because of that, then no, I don't think that the average person would or should assume that she's racist.
Sure, but I didn't know I didn't know your analysis on that one because you didn't say anything about it, but except for post the video with the title on it.
So
And now,
then,
but you can't. But the question was raised regardless we're watching that video.
so it's raised for you again. That's a projection.
Well,
That's
I
a
guess
thought
can I
process.
have a response? Can I have a response to that kind of raised questions? Or isn't that relevant in this scenario?
It is for you, but it wasn't for me, which is why it's a projection.
It wasn't raised for you?
No,
No
how
way.
status. This is hurting me.
So
Wait,
so
Datus,
you're
wait,
saying.
wait.
Mhm.
How many times do I have to tell you that
Mhm.
race was not an essential or even a component in the
To your argument,
scenario in my eyes, in the way that I was analyzing the video and everything I
Mhm.
thought, or else I would have mentioned the race. You know me, you know that I talk about race a lot. And if race is a function or a component, I'm going to mention
Mhm.
it. But I didn't. So then no, I don't think race was a function, but you still are projecting it as if it had to have been.
Yeah, and we already had this conversation where it's just like, yeah, but I didn't know your thoughts. I was an inference. And you said,
Yes.
okay, yeah, that's your fault of inference. It's like, well, it's not totally my fault of inference because you're the one who posted the video. Then you said, well, it's not my fault because all the things in the back end I did, and then I just posted the video without seeing it. How is that going to be my
I
fault?
never said
And then
anything
we
about
both
not seeing
agree.
it. I never said in any capacity, oh, because I posted it without seeing it. What I said was that this was the only way that I could post it conveniently. And I also added on my own caption to highlight the portion of the video that I found important.
So regardless of what the video was titled, it didn't matter. That's what your argument is?
I would say that given that I posted my own caption, that reasonable people should understand the portion of the video that I was contending with. And that's evidenced by all of the responses besides yours.
Oh.
You made that mistake. No one else did.
I
But
don't
you're still
even know.
projecting that onto everyone else.
Let's see,
If you
let's see it.
don't know, let's look at the comments. They're here still. Look, this guy, I made the statement. Logan mentioned, oh, so you think, you know, da 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 da. You don't think she should be able to hit kids, right? Like the teacher should let the kid go crazy and da 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 in front of all the other students. And I responded to that and said she could have whatever, so on and so forth, or get beat on when I find out you touched my kid and screamed in his face. I made it clear there. So then he's talking about, okay, the kid stopping people from potentially hurting another student. No one's talking about race there. You introduced race there, but we can go to other people in comments. Let's go back, right? Because clearly there, that thread had nothing to do with race. So then let's go to the first thread. The first one, that's horrible. And I'm sure now that this video is out, the family of that child will be involved. And I can't imagine the teacher doesn't have a job now as well. I'd be curious on the follow-up to this. We're not talking about race, okay? Oh, if my kid was acting like that, I would want to know about it. But also
Wait, no, there's already a comment. It's like nothing racist about this. It was handled correctly. Absolutely not. Would you feel if she
Wait,
was black?
wait,
Question mark. This is on the
wait,
original video. I can post it right
wait,
now.
no. We're not talking about the original video. We're talking about the video now that I framed it with the portion that I found important. I'm highlighting it right now. It was the closing statement in my freaking in my framing. My closing statement was, you don't put your hands on another person's child. So I think everyone in my comments, now the original video, given that title, then they're going to see race because that's what they're talking about. I retweeted the video, which is the only convenient way of sharing it, and put in the portion that I found important. And everyone else was able to understand that in my thread from my framing with my retweet. So going to the original video is completely extraneous because what we're talking about is it reasonable for people to assume that that was the portion that I talked about? And I would say yes, given that every single person, 100% of the people that responded to my framing clearly understood that I was talking about the teacher's violence with the child besides you. So the next person whose comment I was looking at was, if my kid was acting like that, I would want to know about it. But also, happy the teacher publicly shamed him, should not have cussed and grabbed his chair. She's still contending with the thing that I'm talking about. And so I said, you think public shame is effective punishment for children? You're a bad parent. They said, you have never been a teacher, clearly. Next person. It depends on how out of control the kid was. Sometimes it can't be helped. That person is talking about the violence or her restraining him, not talking about the racism. Because he wouldn't say that if the racism was one of the primary factors here, right? Then someone said, surprised she didn't have purple hair. That's more thinking about a feminist, right? This person says unbelievable.
All these people are like lefty people that aren't gonna attack like feminism. Like they're being pulled by two straws.
Acid Abyss just did. That's why he said, I'm surprised she didn't have purple hair. You know how they have the trope about purple-haired feminism?
Sure, but those are more your fans, right?
Well, Logan's not my fan, and Logan also didn't mention the racism. Clearly, here's another one. There's another person, cult leader in training. LOL, the teacher probably tenured, and they the boldest ones. Not talking about bold with racism, talking about bold with the inappropriate behavior. Another person, Reason, says unbelievable. This guy names, nah, she should have definitely let him beat the little girl for real, for real. The little girl started it, so the fat white teacher should have allowed him to beat up that little girl. Again, that's not talking about racism. She's contending with my idea that I think she shouldn't have done what she did, what she did. And I said, nope, call security. When she manhandled him, was nowhere near where the girl was. Stop it. So I'm again talking about the violence. Then someone says, we need to, she replies, we need to raise our boys better. If my son tried to hit a female, I felt as a father. Again, we're not talking about violence. Then I said, yep. And if he does try a teacher physically assaulting him after, I'm sorry, yeah, and if he does try a teacher physically assaulting him after he's already in check, isn't the solution. Again, we're not talking about racism. My point that I'm establishing here is, and it should be as succinct as possible, in my thread, with my framing, the only person who thought race was a component was you. So I think I did the proper job of helping people to understand what my perspective was and what my focus was. Right?
Yeah. Oh, hold on. No. You didn't saying that having like laying hands on teachers laying hand on children and racism are separate conversations. That doesn't mean that one is implied. If you show that video, the both of them can be implied. You didn't clarify your position. You just made your position clear on what you wanted to talk about.
Okay. All right. Well, look, Datus, I don't know how to go any further than this. I feel like I've as plainly elucidated as I can. What?
Okay, on the rhetorical question. See,
Okay.
why do you think? And this is the only reason this even started.
Okay.
Why do you take the rhetorical question she gives in bad faith over good faith?
Okay. It's because of the fact that she doesn't say, is this what your family does? She said it in a way where she said, that's how your family does. That's what the men in your family do. Your dad beats your mom. So to me, that stops being like, while I'm not saying that she's saying with certainty, I know your dad does that, right? What I think that she's implying is this is a potential of where you learned this behavior, right? And so for me,
yeah, that's how I took it first time as well, and I still think that's more likely than the other one.
Then what's the problem?
Hold on, that's the whole thing is like I was just saying, be careful before you saying that she's clearly implying one way or the other.
Okay, you feel like I shouldn't be able to say that statement, but I think that that's a rational and a reasonable take for it. So then that's just kind of what I want to go
Wait, and
with.
then you're saying me saying, and that's I guess I don't understand how you can say that, and then say me saying that yeah maybe Fanatiq thinks this woman is racist is like irrational as fuck.
Well, I've already gone through that. I'm not going back over that portion of the conversation.
I know. We can just end it there. But no one's doing it.
Okay, man. Is there anything else?
Let's see. Yeah. I guess I can explain some of my insults. It's just like talking about like being a parent, etc., etc. It's just my perspective on seeing some of these teacher stuff, and maybe perspective of some people are attacking you who are a little bit, I guess, like dishonest with it, is that parents and kids lose their tempers all the time. And regardless, I think every parent, every adult thinks they're gonna be the best parent in the world, but even they fuck up all the time. And kids' behaviors, as you were saying, kids' behaviors are majority due to their home life. So when you make the accusation, if that was my kid, and this all depends if what the kid was doing was unjustified or not. But if the kid did something completely out of hand and has a history with doing that, and then the teacher gets finally like pissed off at it, and then someone else says like, well, teachers shouldn't have done that. Or if the parent was like, the teacher shouldn't have done that, I'm gonna start throwing hands. Well, I think it's pretty reasonable to say maybe the parent that's saying like, hey, that was my child, you shouldn't touch my kid, should kind of self-reflect on that own kid's behavior. Does that make any sense? Or the reasons for that kid's behavior?
Okay, but why did you say that to me? Like what
You
like why'd you say
you just
this?
asked like, was there a random other thought on that looking into it? And I was like, yeah, I'll just give my take
No,
on the video.
I don't want to just hear your random thoughts. I was wondering if you had any other contentions with anything else that I said.
Yeah, my contention was you saying like, if that was my child, I would throw hands with the teacher. I'm like, well, maybe your child would have deserved it, and you probably wouldn't deserve to say like, I'm gonna throw hands.
So
So
you would
yeah, that was my
say
contention.
that a boy that if that boy did indeed curse at a little girl and threatened a girl, that the teacher was appropriate to handle the situation in that way. He deserves that.
No, you were generalizing a little bit more. I said if a kid's like, I said I was generalizing it a bit more. I meant it's like if I see if there's like a kid that has a history of, like beating fucking other kids, yeah, I don't think the parent is justified in getting mad at any fucking body but themselves.
So then the parent can't be mad at the teacher for putting her hands on the child.
Uh, if okay, so say I don't know what that fucking I don't even know what the kid did. The clip's not even there.
That's why
Okay,
I
so we're
asked you.
just
But that's
throwing
why
in.
no, but that's why I asked you. If the kid did indeed
Mhm.
curse at the girl and threaten the girl, does the teacher have the right to put her hands on the boy as she did in the video?
We don't know what happened, what they
I
did.
just
The kid
asked
didn't.
the question. I'm not saying we know.
No, it wouldn't
It's
be reasonable, but we don't know.
okay.
You don't know what they
Okay.
did either.
Okay.
We
So
don't know what
we don't
happened.
have to. What we have is
No?
that what
Yeah, I think we do. It's
we
the
don't
situation.
have to. What we have is the statements from the teacher herself saying, "You were in my classroom threatening that girl and
Mhm.
cursing at her." So based off of what the teacher said the boy did, that reaction was inappropriate, which is why the parent would be mad, right?
Yeah, and then my whole point was, you know what? If your child does something crazy enough and or has a history of doing something crazy enough, I don't think they're justified at being mad at all.
So if the child had been abusing or had been threatening or cursing or doing those things for 6 months in the classroom, I don't have a right to be mad at the teacher for physically touching my kid as opposed to using the other options, is what you're saying?
If no, I don't think they're there. What hold on. If I was to give it like an extreme example, let's like even put this in extreme example, right? If I raised a kid and a kid is and I raise a
I don't
kid
want
and then
another
he goes
example. I
off.
want you to
Nope.
answer my
Oh no,
question.
this will answer it because this will be a super same scenario, but
No,
even more
answer my
extreme.
question. I asked a
But
question. I need you to answer it.
no, you
So
want
if
me to answer it
I
because you
do,
want it to look
because
bad, but I can give you a
it's not
very good
about I don't
allegory that will make it look extreme
you
rational.
can give me your allegory after you answer my question. If the child had been in
Mhm.
that behavior and had been threatening children or cursing at children for 6 months
Or
straight,
violence.
no,
Or violence.
we don't know. I'm
Oh.
leaving it at the things that were stated in the
Why are we
video,
leaving it?
because those are the things that were stated in the video. So if a
No,
child,
she didn't she
those
state like
those
you were hitting women?
no,
Didn't the teacher state he was hitting a
no,
girl?
she said you were trying to fight her and you were
Okay,
cursing at her.
isn't that violence?
That's why I said threatening. So
Violence.
if
Okay.
I said so, if the child had been threatening multiple children and had been
Mhm,
cursing at children for 6 months, and the
mhm,
teacher decided to put her hands on him as
no.
opposed to using other options, does a parent have the right to be angry?
If we're assuming this kid has never been violent and yeah, and all that kind of deal, sure, yeah, I imagine they would have a little bit of a right to be angry. I don't know, but it's so hard to tell. I wouldn't even put a stakes on it. Like this is not any information at all. Even the scenario you gave me, there's still so much unclarity here. Like, was there like the child had like a history of like bro, like where's the parents called multiple times, the principal's called multiple times, and the kids like
I love it. I love it. I love it.
kept doing it.
Yeah,
Come on.
You know what, Datus? See, that's the brilliant thing that you just did there. You just exactly explained.
No, you were trying to give me a little.
No, Datus. You just exactly explained exactly what I think should be done. In that scenario, the teacher should have called the parents much earlier.
Yeah.
If the child was still unregenerate, then you would go and you would start talking to. You would suspend the child. You would send them to detention. You would go to the principal, set up parent-teachers conferences, and then eventually expel the child. But you would not physically touch the child. There is no escalation that would allow you to do that, except for except for the case of immediate violence. So in this case, given the fact that she didn't say that the kid was immediately violent, she had pointed that the girl was over there. So it seemed like she indicated that the kid wasn't immediately threatening the child at that moment when she started doing that. Then at that point, then the physical touching wasn't necessary, right?
But that wasn't the question you asked me.
I've just added on. I've expounded.
You said the question you asked me is like, as a parent, you have a right to get upset about that. And I was like, I don't think you have the right to get upset.
Okay.
If that situation, if that kid like fell down, like started doing like a bunch of drugs at his home, he saw his mom smoking weed, etc., etc. He starts like going to doing harder stuff, meth, cocaine, heroin, etc., etc. He finds like a dealer that gives him all that shit, and then he gets he like fucking overdoses one day. Yeah, the parent has a right to be upset at the drug dealer, but I mean, the parent can be upset at the drug dealer that gave him meth, but then I don't think that they have a right to be upset since they were probably getting their drug habits from them smoking doing drugs in the home. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right, well, okay, man, it was nice talking to you.
I mean, do you have a response to that? Like, is that wrong?
I'm going to say, regardless of whatever the parents do, when people have authority, then they have a right to be upset when someone abuses their authority. Now, if they abuse their authority as well, or they didn't do things properly, then they should be upset at themselves as well. Yeah. In other words, I could be angry at my child. I'm sorry, if I raise my child with no accountability and no good discipline, and he ends up being like a terrorist around whatever, and he's like robbing and stealing and doing all of those things, okay? Or maybe not robbing and stealing, but he's just, doing graffiti and just being vandalism and just doing bad things. I'm going to be upset at myself for my parenting of my child. Now, if caught in one of those interactions, some cop abuses his power and shoots my child, while I'll be upset at myself for putting my child in that situation, I'm going to be upset at the officer who acted inordinately. And so I think similarly, if the parents were failures of parents, then they should be upset at themselves for having their child be in that situation, while simultaneously being upset at the authority, the adult who took on the responsibility and abused her power with the child. Fair?
Okay. Yeah, fair, but
there shouldn't be any more response.
No, there is. So we could agree there can be like one can have more weight than the other, right? If someone was like a drug, if a family was like drug addicts, et cetera, and the kid got bad habits, but then they died from like a piano falling at them, right? You can blame the piano. You can probably blame the piano for what happened to him more than the parents in that situation, right? There's gonna be certain weights to whatever happened.
That's a good point. Right? I never thought about it that way, but sure, that makes sense. All right, bro. Yeah. Well, I gotta go though. It was good talking to you.
All right, good talk. All right, we cool. Okay, we chilled out.
I don't hate you. I don't think I like the way you think. But that's fine. We don't have to all agree with the way that we think.
All right. Well, let's see you.
All right.